The Nanoleaf Canvas is one of the coolest ways to illuminate your home or your background, so I'm going to show you how to set it up and how you can enable these mesmerizing effects. What up guys, welcome back to another episode. My name is Eddie Bear and you've seen some new lights here in my background for quite some time now. These are the canvas from Nanoleaf. The guys from Nanoleaf were kind enough to hook me up with a starter kit, and I'm so in love with their product that I immediately went out and grabbed another one of their expansion kits to get this canvas even bigger. So thank you guys for making this video possible. Since I'm so much in love with this light here and you guys already asked me a bunch of questions about it, I decided to create a thorough tutorial on how to set up the canvas and what you need to watch out for in the mounting process. So with that said, let's see what's in the box. Let us begin with the starter kit. The first thing you will find within the packaging is some paperwork, and you better never discard this one here, cause it contains your Homekit code. If you ever have to reset your Nanoleaf canvas for whatever reason, this code will be needed in order to complete the whole installation again. The tiles have a nice satin finish, and on the back you can find the connectors which will power all the other tiles, and they also help to set up a network which then turns the individual tiles into a whole canvas. The starter kit comes with 9 tiles which can be extended with additional sets, but more about that later. By the way, this tile here is the main brain of the whole system, so this one will get a special place later. But inside the box you not only can find the tiles, you will also find one power supply with additional power plug options, double-sided adhesive tape in order to mount the tiles onto your wall, and also rigid linkers to interlink the individual tiles. Now let's check out the expansion kit. This kit comes with a total of 4 additional tiles, more additional adhesive tape, and more linkers. Last but not least, let's talk about the Nanoleaf Remote, and this remote is an absolutely underrated part of this system. Boy, am I glad I have this right now. At the beginning I thought I wouldn't need it, but once you have it, you pretty much will not let it go. By the way, this one's paperwork also contains a Homekit code, so better make sure not to lose it. The assembly is super easy. Insert both batteries and close up the lid. It then will immediately come to life. Now take both sides, align them and push them gently together till you hear a click. And trust me, from here on you will not stop playing around with this remote. Now you know what comes with the Nanoleaf canvas, so let's now focus on the setup procedure. Just follow the instructions on your screen to complete the installation. I will not cover all the details since this procedure and the menus change constantly. However, if you're having trouble connecting your canvas to HomeKit or your Wi-Fi, reset the main module even if it's fresh out of the box. After that, it will just work fine. I had the same issue, by the way. Once your remote is successfully connected to HomeKit, fire up your Nanoleaf app, select your remote and head over to Settings. Here you now select your canvas and this will automatically launch a wizard. The setup is actually super easy. Hold down the power button on your canvas for 5 seconds till you get a rotating motion. Once that starts, just bring your remote close to the main tile of the canvas and they will both link up. Once they're linked, all 12 sides of your remote will have predefined scenes applied to them. This way you can switch between scenes by placing your remote on different faces, and if you want to increase the brightness, just turn the remote clockwise, and if you want to decrease the brightness, just turn it counterclockwise. Now I have a few tips for your assembly and mounting process. Number 1, plan your layout in advance. For this, the Nanoleaf app has a layout assistant. This way you can play around with shapes and alignments. You can easily add additional tiles or remove them from your layout. And if you have no idea how to place your tiles, you can also shuffle them around to get inspired. Trust me, this process will take you quite some time, but it's a cool way to prepare yourself for what's coming. Number 2, check if your layout is even possible with the help of the linker mode in the layout assistant. By tapping onto individual tiles, you can adjust the position of the connectors, and if there is any issue with your layout, the part that is not connected properly will turn orange so you can adjust your layout. Once your layout is complete, you can do a dry run with the help of augmented reality. For this, swipe your phone around in the room, and once it detects surfaces, tap on the surface you want to place your installation on. Reposition your layout so it sits where you want it later to be, and then you can move around in the room and see how it will look later. It's quite surprising how close the simulation comes to the real thing, isn't it? Number 3. Make sure your first 2 to 3 tiles are perfectly square, otherwise you will have significant alignment issues, especially with bigger installations, and you don't want a crooked canvas, don't you? Number 4. In woodworking you say measure twice, cut once. In Nanoleaf's case it's rather check the orientation twice and glue once. Always check the orientation of the tile before you stick it onto the wall. Removing the tiles afterwards is messy, trust me, I'm speaking out of experience. Number 5. Always use at least 3 adhesive stripes and don't be afraid to even use more in dense areas. For examples, if you have 2+ tiles above each other. I say this cause even though I always used 3 stripes, my installation moved over time. Now it's time to mount your Nanoleaf canvas. For this, let's begin by preparing your linkers. To free your linkers, just hold on to one side and break them off. It's pretty easy. Then hold on to the linkers and snap off the other side. Then you have a bunch of ready to go linkers. If you ever want to go around corners, you can do so by using flex linkers, but these are not included, so if you want to use them, you have to grab them separately. And since we are already talking about flex linkers, I decided to start my installation in the corner of my studio, so these 2 tiles are perfectly square to each other, cause you never can expect 2 walls to be square. Before I glue up a tile, I first make sure that my linker is sitting in the right connector. Then I'm placing adhesive stripes on all opposite sides of the tile. This way I can assure that if I have to remove the tile, I can access the adhesive stripes. And as I mentioned before, always make sure to at least use 3 adhesive stripes in order to prevent your canvas from sagging or becoming crooked over time. Oh no. Okay, so I did glue the tiles upside down onto the wall, so this means now I need to remove them again. So make sure to check with your guide before you glue, cause otherwise it will be a really big mess. So don't do the same mistake I did. And now you know why out of experience I told you to check your orientation twice and glue just once. After my initial hiccup, I was able to mount the Nanoleaf canvas in about 20 minutes or so. And even though I had my layout figured out, I still decided to make some changes along the way. For example, I started to notice that the electromagnetic field from my Eddie Bear neon sign was affecting the tiles, so I wouldn't recommend putting them too close to a neon sign. The installation is finished and everything is ready to go, so let me give you some brief examples of a few predefined scenes and how they look on a small to medium-sized canvas. Color burst is an example where the color is expanding from the center point of the canvas and it is shifting through the rainbow colors. In the scene flames, the whole canvas is covered in fiery colors and randomly certain tiles are dimming themselves or getting brighter. One of my all-time favorites is a scene called Pulse, cause this one is sound activated and depending on the sound in the room, it looks like red arcs are shooting across your canvas. If you're a musician, you can even go so far and use the Nanoleaf canvas as a sound bar. Depending on the volume in the room, the colors will shift from blue to reddish. These are just a few examples of your lighting options on the Nanoleaf canvas, and you either can create your own scenes or you grab other ones from the community database. All of the available scenes are for free, by the way. I, for example, create a different scene for every video depending on the topic I'm talking about, and I think it's a cool way to keep my studio fluid and more interactive than with a static light or lamp. Therefore, in my opinion, the canvas is an incredible piece of art and a great talking piece for every room. No matter whether it's a studio like mine, a hallway, or just a good old living room. So what is your opinion about the Nanoleaf canvas? Would you hang something like this on your wall? Let me know down in the comments below. And with that said, I hope my tips were helpful, and if you liked today's video, don't forget to like, share, subscribe. Thank you for watching, and I see you in the next one. Peace.